Vin Diesel is my hero. Vin Diesel. All right, buckle up. We sound good. This one's titled, The Car Market Collapse Everyone Has Been Waiting For. It's about time. This one's by Car Questions Answered. Blow this big daddy up. We're gonna get this party started, dude.
It's so bad at Nissan right now, they're thinking about actually selling their headquarters to raise cash so they can weather the storm.
Major car brand Nissan could be in trouble after the company announced a 90% decrease in profit from last year.
And now you have Subaru, which is the latest casualty
90% decrease. Oh, that's good. Write that down.
of these tariffs.
Subaru says it's hiking up prices to, quote, offset increased costs.
They just announced that they're going to be increasing their prices.
The prices would rise by as much as $2,000 depending on the model. Ouch.
And I can tell you for Nissan that, okay, Honda was probably their one and only chance.
If a deal is reached, Honda and Nissan would become the third largest car company in the world.
To be able to get a bailout like this, a merger, to be able to help them, to be able to give them cash. Because now, since the environment's worse than it was, 4 or 5 months ago when we were actually talking about this merger.
Some insiders are telling media outlets the automaker could collapse.
Since the situation is worse with tariffs.
Well, the impact of tariffs are starting to show up in the showrooms. New auto prices are rising and incentives are falling.
Since the situation is...
Hold up. I'm confused here. Is it collapsing or are prices just going up? None of this makes sense. What is going on here? You know, something else to think about. I could see maybe used cars taking a shit, like prices, but at the same time, what are they going to do? Sell them for less than they paid for them? It's like if you bought a house for recently for $400,000 and the housing market crashes, are you really going to sell that house for less than $400,000? That's kind of what I mean with the car market. Like I bought a Grand Marquis like 6-7 months ago for $9,600, and I went in there and I said, "I'll give you $7,000 cash." He goes, "Dude, I paid $8,000 for it. I can't go less." And I was like, so you mean to tell me you're going to make like $1,000 profit? He goes, "Yeah." I was like, and this is not like an expensive car. That was kind of what blew my mind. I'm like, it sounds like it's not crashing. So that's good. That's false advertising. Let's hear him out. I like this guy.
Is worse with our economy here in the U.S.
Gone are the days when you're going to see widespread 0% financing, big discounts on vehicles.
And the sales numbers, they're not doing anything better than what they were doing back then, and it looks like it's very, very bad, even worse right now than it was then.
Average price paid year over year up $825. The average incentive, it's down $263 year over year.
That they're not going to have somebody else come in and say, "Okay, you know what, we'll help you out. You have some assets that we want," because right now Nissan is probably hanging on the edge right now, and that's not something that another company is wanting to come in and be involved in. And it's more likely that, okay, 12 months from now, Nissan looks completely different than it does right now, maybe from an actual buyout instead of some kind of merger, instead of, Nissan getting some help from someone else becoming a partner, even becoming under a company like Honda. It's not.
How much you want to bet, real quick? How much you want to fucking bet, dude, that, let me look this up. Dude, if Nissan just said, fuck it, right? What's the average price of a Nissan? How do you even spell Nissan? I don't speak Japanese, dude. All right. How much you want to bet, dude, if Nissan just said, hey, everything on the lot is 10 grand. Dude, everybody would have a fucking Nissan. They would be sold out. They'd be like, we don't have any more cars. But they're never going to do that. Hold on, let me see. It doesn't even give you any prices. Oh, shit, Nissan is already cheap. Dude, nobody wants it. Brand new. $17,000. Shut the fuck up. Hold on, dude. Hold on. I wish it would just tell me the price right here. It doesn't say anything. You got to actually click on it. How much is a Pathfinder? 36 grand? Dude, if you put that up right now for 15 G's... oh, you're selling out. You're selling out. I know that's unrealistic, but when I hear collapse, when I hear crash, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I guarantee you everybody and their fucking mother's uncle would be driving a damn Sentra right here. $21,000. This has got to be the cheapest cars I've ever seen. And they're having low sales. Nobody wants to drive a Nissan, I guess. But dude, imagine if they just dropped everything to $10,000. Every car they had. Oh, they'd be fuck. I know that's a terrible business model, but it's something to think about. Anyways, I didn't know Nissans were so cheap. Makes sense. Makes sense.
It's not going to look like that now because there's no one that's going to swoop in and actually want to come and get the assets that Nissan has right now, because you're not going to want to acquire some company that's in as bad of shape as Nissan is right now. We just had Ford.
Yeah, he's got a point. They're already selling cars. Dude, they got a fucking brand new car for 17 grand. Nobody wants it. It's basic math. I mean, I'm no genius. I'm no big businessman, right? Hold on, let me see the comment section real quick before we continue. They can't sell cars as is. How the hell are they going to sell them at higher prices? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is it crashing or not? Because it sounds like the opposite to me. Nobody could afford our cars. Hey, let's raise our prices. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping out.
Ford come out and say there's going to be vehicles that they're selling that they're going to increase the prices on because of tariffs.
Ford is warning that tariffs will likely raise prices.
You have Audi. Audi was one of the first ones that said that they were going to be increasing prices. And I think as time goes on, you're going to have more and more and more manufacturers that are going to come out and say, okay, well, tariffs are hitting our margins, so we're going to pass the savings on to our consumer.
They've got to sit there and say, how do we adjust to the cost that we're paying? We don't want to say we're passing it along to the consumer. You're just not going to see the deals that you once saw.
And we're going to be increasing our prices by X amount. We're going to be increasing our prices by this percentage because
the deals you once saw. No, that's good. Write that down. The deals. No, yeah, the deals that have been happening in the last 3-4 years. Yeah, dude, tremendous fucking deals. This sounds like the opposite of a collapse. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, dude. When cars literally drop half in price. God. He got me to click the video, though, and I'm going to get you to click it, too. And we're going to laugh about this. Maybe if just nobody buys it, maybe it will eventually crash. Maybe they will have to go, okay, we have to get something for these cars. I promise you, dude, if Nissan did that, $10,000 cars, brand new, they'd be sold out, hands down. Maybe not, but I think they would be. I'd buy a fucking Nissan.
because this is what it's costing us to do.
J.D. Power has told me they expect prices to rise another 5% between now and the fourth quarter.
Now, they have margin built in where they don't have to do that, but I think initially they're going to try to pass all of these savings on to their consumers, but they're going to get hit with a brick wall because they're already having a lot of difficulty moving metal with the economy the way it is, with credit the way it is right now, with auto loan delinquencies the way they are right now, with all this negative equity that's coming into the system right now. You're going to have trouble raising prices in the face of all this negativity that's in the market. And these manufacturers, they're going to try. But I mean, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to.
Oh man, I live hood adjacent, and this is kind of like this is literally like my neighborhood. This just sums up my neighborhood right here. I just look at this, I go, oh my god, it's just fucking. But hey, everybody wants these. They'll have a $600, $700 car payment for this, right? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. I just felt like I left my house. It's crazy, dude. Fucking Challengers and Chargers. I just don't get the obsession. They're dope cars. I get it.
Try to keep their margins for their shareholders, but with that, it's going to greatly lower volumes, and I think their bottom lines are going to get hit worse from the price increases because their volumes go down than if they were to eat these things to begin with. I think they're going to learn this. And just about every one of these Nissans I'm walking by, like I see like $4,000 off, $2,000 off, $1,000 off. And here
Okay, we got to go to the comments section. $5,000 off? That ain't going to cut it, dude. That ain't going to cut it. You're not selling cars for 17 grand brand new? Good fucking luck, dude. What does that say, though? What does that really say? I mean, honestly, maybe people just don't want them. And honestly, it's kind of a bad association with Nissan Altimos, especially used ones. You guys see how these people drive. When I see somebody on Nissan Altima swerving in lanes, it's not a good look. I think there's just a bad rap with Nissan, unless you're getting like a GTR or something. But we're going to wrap this up. It's safe to say that it's actually not collapsing and prices are going up. That's the best. That's awesome. How much higher can it go? Okay. Just checked the new Nissan Frontier in Nashville. It was $34,000. Today, it's $39,000. That's a smart business move. No one's buying it. Raise the price. Psychological, man. All right. A coworker of mine was looking for a Ford Bronco back in January. It was brand new, 2023. They wouldn't take a dime off the price, even though it was already a year old. She walked away. Well, you're going to have, like, everybody walk away. Like, I don't think it's going to collapse. Honestly, people want new fucking cars, and they don't want Nissans. This much we've learned today. Guess they should have doubled the price they shouldn't have doubled the price in the last 5 years. Actually, it worked. People were still buying them. And now it's the new normal, baby. That's the new standard. It's just, if you want a new car, you just go, well, that's what it is. It's like rent. When everybody goes, $2,000's just normal. Fucking deal with it. Okay, well, $2,000's just normal now. What are they going to do? Or $1,500 if you're lucky. For a little shitty joint in a decent area. I'm not talking about even Tennessee. No, if I like Tennessee, but even Tennessee, it's a fucking ripoff. But that's my point. It's if that's the new normal, then they're never gonna bring it back down. It's like taxes. You think they're just gonna all of a sudden go, you know what? Let's cut sales tax in half and let's cut property tax. No, nobody wants to make less money. I mean, I get it. Even you don't want to make less money. How would you like that? You're renting out a property or you're selling cars. You're not thinking to yourself, you know what? Let's cut the prices in half. See what I'm saying? Okay. I love how the news is making a big deal about a $900 difference. Yeah, like I said, dude. Cut the price in half. You're going to sell out. They're going to be sold out. Maybe not for Nissan, but basically any other car company. Local Toyota dealer is marking up new 4Runners for $4,000 over what they already are. I never got the appeal about 4Runners. I get the Tacoma. The Tacoma's a good one. Or like the old 4Runners are dope. You know, early 2000s, 90s. After tariffs, customers aren't going to see deals they once had. I was kind of like, what is he talking about? Like, deals. If car prices have jumped 30-40% in the recent years and dealers refuse to budge even before tariffs, can we really blame current headlines for this mess? No, actually, this got me. I honestly was like, oh, because this dude's a car dealer that we're watching. So I'm like, oh, maybe he knows something. Maybe it is coming down. Maybe the used car market. Actually, most automakers are hoping government will bail them out again. Yeah, that makes sense. Car makers expecting strapped consumers to eat the price hike. Wait, is crazy as fuck. Shows just how out of touch they are. Well, kind of, but not really at the same time. We're kind of being conditioned to where it's like, well, this is just how it is. Like one of my really good friends, he literally said this. He goes, I'm just always going to have a car payment. He's like, he goes, I want the new shit. I'm just always going to have a car payment. And I was like, you know what? I kind of respect that, but I think it's going to be, unless you just want to go super used, secondhand, like I do, just kind of, not like hoopty, but, you know, you could scrounge, you're happy with a $15,000, 10-year-old car. you almost just have to accept it, because I'm having a hard time believing that people are going to go, like, who's just going to take $23,000 and buy a Nissan Altima brand new? Cash. No, seriously. Who's doing that? 7 people in the entire United States? That might be an accurate number. Buy a reliable used car. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's how I roll. I'm not happy about that. I think we should be able to afford new cars, but it's not like we're all just going out buying brand new construction. So, you know what I mean? I'm so glad these companies are intentionally cut corners with quality just to try and overcharge customers for their bullshit. For bullshit. Yeah, I know. Car market collapsing with increased prices was not what I hoped for. All right, let's skip forward here. Let's wind this down. Let's see what else he's got.
They're having selling vehicles. You still have a lot of these dealerships that are wanting to charge over MSRP. I mean, you add on dock fees, everything like that, then the consumer is paying over MSRP for a Nissan right now. And Nissan is having such a hard time, they can't sell cars. It's a bad situation at Nissan. But still, you have dealers that are trying to take advantage of their consumers. And I just want to point out the difference, because there are dealers out there that are still going to do that, even when they know their products are not worth the gold that they're trying to get out of them. But you have good dealerships like this one right here, that I believe are trying to move with the market, and they are advertising for their consumers. Look, we're taking at least $4,000 off of MSRP before you.
All right, I'm going to leave the link down to this guy below. I think I've heard enough. I'm going to end on this note. I'm going to end on this. If people can't just buy the car cash, which most of us can't, even if you have 50 grand in your bank account, I highly doubt you're just going to go drop $37,000 of it on a car. It's hard to part with that kind of money. Like, be honest with yourself. I get it, right? That's why I buy $10,000 cars or $15,000 cars, because I feel comfortable about that. But here's what I'm going to say. When they know that people won't even drop 20 grand on a car and they're just going to finance it anyways, run it up. Double it. I'm going to say it I'm going to say this so much. If they know that we will finance a $20,000 car, what's the difference if they turn it into a $40,000 car? We already couldn't afford the $20,000. Same with housing. If we couldn't afford the $250,000 house, cash, we sure as shit can't afford the $350,000 one. Run it up. Credit. Anyways, I'll leave car questions answered. Shout out to this guy. Shout out to everybody who bought a t-shirt, the Caddy Daddy Classic. I appreciate you. I'm out of here. I'm fucking over it. Nissan, piece of shit.